Hi, I'm Dr. Bruce Whittingham and I've been in clinical practice for over 22 years. And like yourself, I've constantly been looking at ways I can improve the results that my patients see. Now, when I graduated from chiropractic school, I probably didn't realize just how important the feet were. But over time, what I've realized through my research is the feet add a massive amount of neurological and proprioceptive information vital for the brain to be able to keep us balanced and coordinated. So it's really easy to see if your patients are having similar kind of difficulties. Just ask them to do the heel to toe test. So get them to look straight in front of them and walk heel to toe in a straight line. Try and get about 10 steps if you can and observe the way they move and their balance. Then ask them to do the same test, but this time ask them to close their eyes first and observe the difference. Now, what you're going to find in most people is that their balance and coordination is not going to be nearly as efficient as it was with their eyes open. So that tells us that there's a proprioceptive issue between the feet and the brain. So, like you, I always ask my patients to go for a 5 or 10 minute walk after an adjustment. Now, if they're going out for a walk and they're not getting that support or they're not getting that proprioceptive stimulation, automatically they're putting their bodies back into a state of stress. And that can be part of why people just recreate the same stresses and the same issues in their body in between visits. Like having a really good pillow to sleep on or a really good chair that you sit at when you're at your computer, having the proper orthotics and support in your shoes is really important for that ongoing continuation so that people can get healthy and get the results they're looking for. So how does it work? Well, when we think of feet, most of us think about the medial arch. Did you know that your midfoot actually has 3 arches? So that poses 2 problems. The first problem is our shoes just don't support us properly. The second problem is we're walking on artificially hard surfaces. We're walking on tiles and concrete and floorboards and our feet just get hammered. But because this process happens over time, as the arches drop, it compresses the nerves under those arches and those nerves start to go quiet. So number 1, the brain isn't receiving the information, but number 2 is it's very rarely associated with any pain or any symptoms. And because of that, we don't even realize that we need to look at the feet. So what we did is we designed these orthotics from scratch. We realized where the body needed the support and how the proprioception actually works. So we supported from heel strike on the heel, the 3 arches through the midfoot to provide stability, and the last phase of gait, or the propulsive phase, important to help open up the chest and keep the eyes and the head nice and level. There's no other generic orthotic like it on the market. The beauty of these is you don't need to do specialized training. You don't need to take molds or use a heat gun or any of those kind of things. They simply slip into your existing footwear.
I'm Peter Crawley, the principal of St Hilda's School here on the Gold Coast. I've been wearing implants into the shoes for probably a little over a decade now, and I've essentially tried all sorts of implants, half soles, full soles, gels, solids, supports for the arch, but I essentially wear inserts because I experience heel pain, a fairly classic symptom, but it's been more difficult to resolve than I guess most of the doctors I've consulted would suggest. Inserts have certainly helped, but these inserts seem to deal not just with the heel pain, but overall health and well-being of the foot. And because of that, the heel pain issues would have diminished by at least 100%. And overall, it seems through the stimulation of the toes, the front of the foot, as well as other sections of the underfoot, it just seems to work so much more effectively than the one-stop efforts that other inserts seem to focus on. But I have to say, using these particular inserts, I found that dramatic improvement because they seem to touch all sections of the foot, from the heel, the arch, the toes, the front of the foot, and in the way they seem to stimulate the different sections of the foot gives you a totally different feel in the way you walk, the way you feel supported, and at the end of the day, the lack of tiredness that I experience, the increased amount of energy I think it feeds through to the rest of your body is really truly outstanding. And so I sincerely recommend them as quite a remarkable product and well worth it, the effort to try for those who have a need for inserts in their shoes. Highly recommended.
As a professional athlete, we spend massive amounts of time running and training, particularly for being a V8 supercar driver. So I run the Soul Revolution Orthotics in my running shoes every day. I couldn't go without it. And at the racetrack, we spend massive amounts of hours on our feet. So with the orthotics in my shoes, basically comfort is unbelievable and just generally helps my energy levels throughout the day. So that's important for us to make sure we're always tip-top shape when I get in the race car.
My name is Sally McGregor. The shop that you're in now is mine, and it's been here for 20 years. And it started out with a realization of mine when I was doing podiatry. I realized that most of the problems that I saw on people's feet were induced by the incorrect footwear, whether it was a toenail condition, callus of their forefoot, or any sort of immobility or non-mobility that they were experiencing. It was all down to the incorrect shoes that they were buying. It was just a couple months ago that I actually found out about the Soul Revolution insoles. And the minute I saw them, I thought, oh, fantastic. Just what I was talking about. What happens is that your lips, your hands, and your feet have all the tactile nerve endings in them that tell you where you are in space. And when you wear a shoe that only just a small portion of your foot is actually on the ground, all the rest of that foot is giving you no information of where you are. And so your sense of safety, your sense of security, and your sense of movement are all interrupted. When you wear an insert that has the pads so that you have a propulsive phase of gait, but you also have the bounce at the heel strike, your whole body is now engaged in that lightweight movement of going forward. And so now you know exactly where you are in space. And that is really very important because you feel safe, you feel secure, and it just feels like your body's in balance. The lady that I remember most of all comes here and has been buying shoes for about 15 years. And so I know her well. She's had numerous orthotics from different podiatrists. She has a job where she stands all the time, and it causes her a lot of grief because she's like standing like 6 hours, 7 hours a day. She works at the hospital, and she's not happy with her shoes. She's not happy with her orthotics. She comes here all the time trying to find the right shoes, the right orthotics. And one day I said to her, look, we've got something new in the shop. How about you try these? Let's give them a go. And so we took out her orthotics from her shoes. We put these in and she says, right, I'm away. And she just purchased them. And I said, oh, you have to call me back frequently over the next 2 weeks. Well, it's like she never looked back. It's just exactly what she needed. And she found that this was just perfect. So she came back and bought another 2 pairs, and that's all she wears now is her Soul Revolution things. She's quite happy.
Hello, I'm Dion Hamilton, CrossFit athlete. Been doing CrossFit now for 4 or 5 years. My highest ranking's been 150th in the world for my Masters. Currently training now. I got introduced to the Souls probably 2-3 years ago. I had hip problems and that beforehand. Haven't had hip problems since I've been wearing them. Just recently I bought a new pair of shoes and didn't put my inner soles in them, and was at the box training and was missing all my PBs, or not even getting close to PBs. Couldn't work out why. Not until I went home and sitting on there, took my shoes off and had them sitting by my old ones. Didn't have the inner soles in them, so thought, oh okay, changed them over. Next day went down, doing the same lifts, hitting the weights again, 5-10 kgs improvement on all my lifts that I was missing the day before with the soles in them. I was scratching my head and I was actually thinking to myself, this can't be the whole reason. And then once I put them in, well, proof's in the lifting and the performance, I suppose. So they definitely benefit, yeah, in lifting, and I even wear them as a builder on site. I'm in work boots 9 hours a day, and then going to try and do CrossFit, I'll put them in my work boots and then flick them out of my work boots and put them in my work shoes. Just, they don't, if you get tired feet, your whole body's tired, I find, and I don't seem to get it, especially on the days that I'm doing Olympic lifting in the end of the day.
So please, if you'd like any more information, or you'd like to try a pair for yourself, or even get them in your practice for your patients, go to the Contact Us link on the website and we'll get you all the information you need.